Good morning. Just thought I might just show you what's going on in the tunnel. The grapevine is pretty much finished, but we got a lot of grapes from it. Most of them have been harvested. You can see the ones that weren't great have been left on them, but I have most of them harvested and they are currently in a big bucket in the house. One that looks like this, and I've added water and sugar to turn them into wine. We've got a lot of salads now. This is celery here. I think this is parsley, yeah, flat leaf parsley. And this here is coriander. And we've got lots of salad lettuces. A lot of Rosso ones over there, and various different salad bowl types. And the way we harvest these is we actually just pull off the side leaves rather than taking a whole head, and they'll go on for maybe 5 or 6 pickings that way, and over the winter they'll probably last quite pretty much the whole winter that way. And this is chard here, beautiful colours. Look at the red colours of those stems, beautiful. And the little guinea pigs are in here for the moment. If it gets really cold, we bring them into the house. And the grapevine needs to be, when the leaves come off, it'll need to be pruned. Some of the strawberries are in here. We did get a lot of strawberries off these this year. And we're still harvesting some carrots from this bed. This was full of carrots, and before that it was full of early potatoes. I can't remember what these are, but Helen has been potting these up. Some sort of a spring bulb. And the succulent plants like the jade plant and the aeonium here are inside because it's just starting to get frosty. This here I think is rocket, I'm not sure. Yeah, rocket. And this is similar to what we have we had at the college in Park House. This is a chicory. Very bitter leaves, but of course if we blanch the centre of them or do something with them, it's possible to get some niceness out of them. More carrots, and I think this is land cress, which is a type of cress, very refreshing taste. And this is spinach. And these spicy salad leaves here, they're actually better grown over the winter, because during the summer they tend to go to seed very quickly. And all of our beds in here, all of these here are actually covered in our own compost. So we essentially do this no dig. We don't dig the beds, we just add compost. That's the tunnel. So the cottage garden, which is this area here, and the secret garden, which is in at the back, are both looking a little bit messy because the leaves are coming down and it's the end of the year, and we haven't really spent a lot of time deadheading or cutting back or tidying up in here. But there's still some nice colour in it, and of course with the sunshine nice and low at this time of year, the colour and the textures are quite nice. We might have a look at it anyway. I think I showed you this earlier on in the year. This is the pineapple lily, or eucomis. It's got freckles on the leaves, and it's got lots of seeds now. I've never tried growing it from seed, but maybe I should try. And then we've got this here, which is a nerine, which is an autumn flowering bulb. And we've got lots of them over here. Kind of a gaudy pink, but I still like them. I think they're really nice for this time of year when you don't get a lot of kind of new growth this time of year. These guys really do well. And the alstroemeria are still doing really well here, as you can see. They'll keep going until we get a heavy frost. And And some more nerines over here. And this bed was replanted up this year, but it hasn't done great because everybody will know that it was a very dry summer, and there's no point in watering everything. We had to prioritise, I suppose, the vegetable garden. And because we haven't gotten to do much work here, you can see that lots of things have seeded into the ground. Forget-me-nots, and this plant here, Syrinthi, which are very free seeding things, and the calendula. But you know, we can lift and move those to other places. This Japanese maple was amazing a couple of days ago, but really that's all that's left now. This is a green variety called Osakasuki, but the autumn colour is bright red, and it was absolutely stunning. It was almost artificial looking, it was so red. And this is the secret garden. We call it the secret garden. Not very secret at this time of year, but in the middle of the summer it kind of is much more secret when things have grown up. And you can see there's lots of leaves need to be cleaned up. I won't take the leaves out of everywhere. I'll just take the leaves off here and toss them in over the ground, because being a kind of a shade garden, this is what would happen in nature, that you would leave the leaves on the beds, and the spring bulbs and the spring plants like the hellebores and the anemones and the tulips and daffodils and various different things will come up. Pond was looking fantastic a little bit earlier in the year, and the wet loving bed at the back was looking great, but it's all died down now. Again, it was just really dry this year, so it didn't tend to get as leafy as it should. But the Dixonia looks fantastic. Massive leaves on them. Those leaves must be, in some cases, 8 to 10 feet long. And this sorrel, wood sorrel, is coming up through everything, through the cyclamens. So we'll probably have to clean out some of those, and the ferns. So yeah, everything is dying back at the moment, but there is so much in this bed that will be amazing in the spring. There are lots of things that come up. The little guy here, which is sweetwood rough, gets beautiful flowers in the spring. That will die back completely if the weather gets cold enough. Yeah, this is really cool. This is what you call a voodoo lily, and again it's finished flowering, and it comes up at different times of the year. It actually, there's no real set time for it to flower, but look at the fruit on it, it's really amazing. The flowers earlier on were kind of disappointing, but it's a really strong plant. It comes up, sometimes it comes up in May, sometimes it comes up in July. It probably need a little bit more light than it's getting at the moment, and as a result I would say the flowers would be a little bit more spectacular, but it's a really cool plant. And the variegated lords and ladies is coming up again. Again, that's something that comes up when everything else is dying back. It starts to get very vibrant new leaves, and it's really nice. And this hellebore is quite nice because it's got these frosty looking leaves, and the birch tree is looking really nice too. And our kitchen garden went through a bit of a transformation this year. It's still looking a bit messy, a bit like everything else, needs some work and time, and the leaves are everywhere. But what we did this year, it was hard to get wood chips, so we decided to start growing grass on the pathways. So now it has grass pathways. But what have we got in the kitchen garden? This is purple sprouting broccoli. We've still got lots of parsnips to come up, and they are massive. They do really well, as you can see, and they will be better after the frost. They'll get sweeter and tastier then. This is just dahlias and various different kind of cut flowers or flowers for pollinators. In here we've got beetroot, we've got Brussels sprouts, we've got this Cabello Nero kale, which is very bitter but actually really good for you, and Helen puts those in smoothies. And self-seeding in here are some aquilegias, which are columbine or granny's bonnets, and also we have some foxglows over here that are self-seeding into it. Over here we've got leeks and more beetroot and more Brussels sprouts. So the brassicas are really good at this time of year generally. We've got a couple of small cabbages. We've gotten some really good cabbages already this year. And then we've taken out potatoes over at this side, and there should be more potatoes towards the end. Raspberries, James Grieve apple, and black currants, red currants, white currants, similar to what we have in the college. And this vegetable garden is very, very well protected from the elements, as you can see. We've got the big old ash tree there, which is in very good healthy condition. We've got a Scots pine. This I planted myself. This is Acer Davidii. And then the white berries of Sorbus Cashmeriana, which is amazing looking. And then behind this we've got this autumn flowering, or winter flowering cherry tree, Prunus subvertella autumnalis rosea, and this one is grafted at this point here, as you can see, and it kind of sprouts out, but it'll be beautiful now till next April, which is a really good value tree, really. And then we've got these cypress trees here, Chamaecypris lawsoniana, and an elder which has self-seeded itself up there. And we've got the two big old apple trees, and there's a Clematis montana growing through it. And then we've got this one here, which is Ginkgo biloba, the broad-leafed gymnosperm. Who's giving out? Archie, leave her alone. Hey Archie, leave her alone. Don't leave her alone, come on. That's not fair. She's the boss. You little nuisance, aren't you? Come on. Causing trouble. So while we're here, I suppose, I can show you the stables. This one is for the two donkeys. It's a large stable, and I didn't want to cut down the tree, so we just built the stable around it. It's made completely out of used timber or recycled timber, timber decks essentially, and whatever timber I could salvage at the time. As you can see, completely made out of everything is second hand, so it didn't cost me anything, apart from some of the corrugated roofing cost money, but some of it didn't because I got it for free as well. So that's one of the stables, lower roof on it. Then Archie is sitting on the second stable, and we store the bedding that goes on the ground at the back. And we've got another one here, and I'm due to build some more. Everything is being built out of recycled timber, apart from the OSB board, which is just that stuff there. Had to buy that. That's just sheet material, and everything else has been kind of salvaged from a job years ago. Great spot for spiders and spiders' webs. And I think some of you have seen this hedgerow before, but it's a mixed hedgerow looking out onto the fields and the view, and it consists of Rosa rugosa, a wild rose, Amalantia, which is snowy mesplis and gets flowers and then berries. We've got some hazel, and Viburnum opulus, which is this here, the gilder rose, and again has berries and white flowers. And one more thing then, I think, is the beech Vega sylvatica, and that is basically what this hedgerow is. And I cut it down, but I kept the berries on this. I didn't cut these bits down yet, so when these are finished and they're not looking as pretty anymore, that's the berries of the gilder rose now. You can see it's quite kind of nice autumn colour, and this has done very well at being a narrow hedge between our land and this track and the farmland beside it. It makes a nice edge to the end of our land. And this leads over to the horses, and here are the two donkeys looking across the road. Nobby and Osho. Hey lads. So I think that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed the tour.